Oncers, it's Minx, and it's that time again for another Once Upon a Time review. If you haven't seen the latest episode, which aired yesterday on ABC, go to watchabc.com and watch it there because I'm going to be spoiling things in my review. So let's just jump into it. So we had a very David-centric episode, and normally those kind of annoy me a little bit, but this one wasn't so bad. We did get a little bit of Regina and Robin, but just enough to break up the monotony. Um, we start off with Rumpel visiting baby David and baby James, and pretty much making their family make the decision whether or not to split them up in order to save their lives or not and let them die because they were sick. Um, so they end up making the decision to split them up, and that's how James ended up with King George, and David ended up staying on the family farm. Um, so at some point, we switch to the present day, and David ends up seeing his father's coin again and passes out because he sees his a vision of his dad standing in front of him. Um, so David ends up obsessed with the thought of how his father died. He wants to know what his last moments were, where did he go, what did he do, what was going on, and he ends up enlisting the help of Killian, who is struggling with his own inner stuff. Because he now wants to marry Emma. He's got the ring. He actually goes to Archie to talk to him about the fact that he wants, David's approval, but he's unsure as to whether or not David likes him enough, to get that from him. And Archie gives him the advice of, just if you want to know how he feels about you, just go ahead and ask him. So he goes along with David, even though he disagrees with the methods that he's using. He breaks into Emma's shed and steals some magical stuff to try and figure out where his dad went during the last bit of his life. We end up finding out that David's dad dealt with Rumpel one more time to try and find James, who had run away when he was about 6 years old. He ends up in a place called Pleasure Island, which is a place we have never seen before. He runs into Pinocchio, who's still a wooden boy, so we get a little bit of time with August, as in the real world, where he's telling him, it's definitely not the best part of my past. We get to see all of that. We get to see his dad actually rescuing James just about the same time King George shows up. And he refuses to hand him over, saying that he wants to take him back home and reunite the family again. And this entire time, his dad is stone cold sober, which is kind of against what his character was before that. His character is a bit of a drunk. But we see all that happen, and we find out, that King George pretty much orders his men to take him out somewhere and kill him, so that he can never come back for his kid again. So we've got that happening. With a few of the Regina parts of the episode, she actually gets kissed by Robin Hood, but she describes it to Snow as like it was kissing a photograph. So looks like my OTP is not going to be getting back together, which makes me incredibly sad. Because I was hoping that there would be hope for this. I was hoping so much, but it looks like that might not be happening. So we get, at the end of the episode, Killian stops David from killing King George, who we find out's been in solitary all this time, for his crimes or whatever against everybody. And he ends up, getting David's blessing to marry Emma, and then we find out that Killian was the one who actually killed David's father in the end, which was a crazy twist. I was not expecting that at all. Um, so overall, the episode was fairly good. I'm gonna give it a minus for the twist at the end. Um, even though I didn't really, even though I'm not a huge fan of the David episodes, this one was actually fairly good. Um, so yeah, I'll give this one an A minus. The endings just surprised me and knocked me on my feet, like off my feet. So yep. So if you liked this review and you want to catch more reviews on this channel, um, click that little subscribe button down there. It helps me out. If you have any comments about the review and you want to debate anything with me, go ahead in the comments down below. If you want to catch some gameplay videos, check out my brother Loki's channel, Nerdy and We Bro It. I'll have a link below. And if you want to catch some awesome live streaming stuff from Rev, my former partner, um, I'll have a link to his below as well. So with that's it. Later, Wincers.